Leaders with integrity are what the people need, and not foreign investment nor university education to curb misuse of public funds in the country. Here's more on the story.
This was said by Chadema Party parliamentary contestant for Igunga constituency, Joseph Kashidie, while speaking at various campaign rallies in Usawa, Mgogolo and Igumo villages. Chadema Party chairman for Kigoma Regional Jafari Kasisiko has called for support from voters in electing Chadema contestant who will bring development in Igunga district. In another incident, 2 Chadema parliamentarians and 1 party supporter have appeared before Tabora District Resident Magistrate Court to answer 8 charges including harassment and use of abusive language. The case has been adjourned until the 10th October this year upon completion of police investigation, and the accused parliamentarians were arrested on the 17th September during Igunga by-election campaigns for allegedly harassing Igunga District Commissioner.
Research by Children Development Organization Save the Children shows that in developing countries, many children die due to lack of specialized healthcare services. Here's a report. Save the Children Program Manager Dr. Rachel Mkunde said this today in Dar es Salaam while presenting a report on healthcare workers. She added that there were many health centers and hospitals in the country with only one healthcare worker serving more than 50 to 60 patients at a time. Earlier, nurse at Mwananyamala Hospital, Agnes Nziku, and a patient who had given birth at the hospital, Jovita Matthew, said that healthcare service delivery was very poor due to shortage of healthcare workers. Laboratories in developing countries, including Tanzania, have not reached international standards, a situation that is being addressed in order to improve their services. Here's the report.
Speaking in Dar es Salaam today at the launch of a training program for laboratory technicians in Southern Africa, Director of Disease Control in the Ministry of Health and Social Development, Dr. Margaret Mhando, said that laboratories in Africa are undergoing development changes in order to bring them up to international standards.
I also believe that you will conduct your audit according to the acceptable standards and ethics. Furthermore, your provision of technical assistance and mentoring to participating laboratory is very important. To this end, I would like to express the Ministry of Health commitment to support the SLIPTA implementation in collaboration with the ASLM and WHO Afro.
Acting Director of Center for Disease Control and Prevention from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Elizabeth Marum, and Director of National Laboratories, Dr. Fausta Mosha, said that a total of 18 laboratories in the country have been earmarked for development in order to ensure accuracy in analysis of samples.
Are all here to learn how to assess the quality of labs, to ensure that labs throughout Africa are accredited according to international standards, so that at the end of the day, the people of the country of Tanzania and surrounding countries receive the best quality lab services that are possible, and when they are tested, whether it's for HIV, tuberculosis, or other conditions.
And that is the end of the national news. Africa News is next after this break. And in the African news, an investigation has found allegations of abuse against African migrant workers in Libya by fighters allied to the new interim government. Hundreds of men have been imprisoned, accused of being mercenaries for Colonel Gaddafi. There are also claims that homes have been looted and women and girls raped. Here's more on the report.
We met an African migrant worker who's lived in Libya for nearly 20 years. Like everyone we spoke to, he was too afraid to show his face, but so angry at what he feels compelled to speak out.
On that day, the night, they came here, maybe about 20 of handmen like that.
20 men?
20 men.
Right.
So they started calling us Mutasaka, meaning machinery for Gaddafi.
Right.
You see? You see, this is one of the instruments they use. You see, this one was the cock guns. They started, taking the girls into the house. Then they rape them face to face, the girls. Yeah. You see, this is African continent. I'm an African also. So this is my land. So is it because of my color, because I'm a black man? I don't know. And we don't have a voice. Instead of we blacks are the ones suffering, paying for the price of Gaddafi.
Despite millions of dollars invested in various aid programs in Kenya, implementation of several schemes have fell short of expectation as residents question the government's priority of satisfying donors' demands. Here's the report.
Water is scarce in eastern Kenya. Dorcas Mwende has to dig deep to find it in a riverbed by her home. The water keeps her farm going and her family of 8 alive. It wasn't meant to be this way.
When they started building the project, we thought we would benefit directly. But the first time they dug up the place, the wall collapsed. They came back and did it again. Normally when there's heavy rains, there's enough water, but it doesn't pump. So we don't see any benefit.
We look at how aid impacts on democracy in Africa. We have governments that are not for the people. We have governments that are for the donors, because the donors are as good as the indirect taxpayers to the sustenance of these governments.
Is set to join Africa and the rest of the world in a campaign for the fight against climate change, which is set to take place on September 24. The campaign, which will see 150 countries join global climate rallies, is aimed at urging the world to go beyond fossil fuels. On that day, people across the planet will be marching, biking and skating, calling for the world to go beyond fossil fuels while delivering clear and strong demands that can have real political impact to fight the climate crisis. At least 20 people have been killed after unknown gunmen opened fire at a crowded bar near the Burundian capital, Bujumbura. Officials say the number of dead could rise as some people were critically injured in the raid. The attackers raided the bar in Gatumba area, some 13 kilometers west of Bujumbura, which lies in a stronghold of former National Liberation Forces rebel, whose leader, Agatha Rwasa, has been blamed for a recent spate of attacks. And that's the end of the African news. International news is next after this break.